Hello, guys. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon.
We're here today to go ahead and go over a couple of things that were brought up in other situations that we have been confronted here in the workplace. We did want to go ahead and go over a few policies, regulations, and training, just to go ahead and better prepare you guys as far as what you might be coming across with as far as for your employees. And if you're here just as an employee, this is just to go ahead and give you a little bit more information as far as what's available to you here in the company, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and be going over just a quick facts as far as what we have for sexual harassment here in the workplace, okay? I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a couple of definitions, and then we're going to go ahead and go over what to do if you feel like you're being sexually harassed at work. And as well, we're going to go ahead and go over what to do if any of you guys are supervisors or managers or in a management team position, as far as what you guys would need to do if you have a employee that might be feel threatened as far as in the workplace, okay? The first thing I did want to go ahead and ask you guys, how many of you guys have felt uncomfortable in the presence of another peer?
I have.
Yes, you have. Okay. I did want to go ahead and mention, many times we forget to, or we do not go ahead and mention or speak out about certain situations that might not make us feel fully comfortable here where we work at every day. Okay. As far as what I was able to come across, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a few statistics that might be super mind-blowing that you guys did not even realize. And as far as how that pertains to what we're going over today, okay? So, again, we're here to educate on the meaning of sexual harassment, what steps you need to take as a recipient of such behaviors, and what policies there exist to assist your own employees alike, okay? The actual definition itself. The EOC does go ahead and describe it as being an unwelcome sexual advance or conduct of a sexual nature, which unreasonably interferes with the performance of a person's job or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment. Okay, what this means, it could go ahead and be like any kind of unwelcome sexual advance that you might see. It could be any kind of remark or anything like that. It's a legal definition that the EOC has in place, but go ahead and keep in mind that it is including but not limited to anything that might make you feel uncomfortable, remarks, comments, maybe just gestures. All that can be considered sexual harassment if and when you do feel it that way. We do want to go ahead and also remember that sexual harassment is a very broad topic. What means to one employee might not mean the same thing to a different employee, okay? You do have different understandings, different perspectives, and of course, don't think that anything is not more serious than another matter just because it might not mean the same thing to you. Okay, at all times, we want to go ahead and make sure that all employees alike are comfortable in the workplace, and that whatever you feel that is maybe targeting one employee or targeting yourself, or you see it with other people, you do want to go ahead and make note of it, just because nothing goes unnoticed. It is a serious matter. You do want to go ahead and make sure that everything is taken into serious hands regardless, okay? And no form of uninvited advance is any less relevant to the commodity and the peace of mind of an employee, okay? The second thing that we did want to go ahead and go over, now that we all have clarified as far as what it means to be sexually harassed in the workplace, what should you do if you are being sexually harassed at work, okay? There is certain steps that you want to go ahead and make sure that are crucial within the investigation of any kind of claim that you might have. As far as specific steps, of course, that there exist different kind of organization types within a company, but you want to make sure that at least there's specific things that you know are entitled to you, or that there's certain policies that are in place. As far as how you might feel, just to not make you guys feel any less until you guys can go ahead and put it into perspective, a study that was found by the EEOC, at least 25% or 1 in 4 women have experienced sexual harassment in the workplace. Keeping in mind that at least 50% of those, 50% of the claims that they get year to year is still coming from men. Sexual harassment can be experienced by men and women alike, and is not limited to any kind of situation of what might happen as far as, again, it goes back to, it could be any kind of gesture, any kind of comment, remark, or actual harassment that might be taking place as far as like what sexual harassment might be. They could be holding a position against you, your salary, your job, or anything like that, okay? The most important thing for you to know is that you need to speak to someone, and whoever you're speaking to needs to be somebody that is going to go ahead and help you resolve the situation. Whoever you're speaking to is going to have somebody, it's going to have to be somebody that's going to have an action plan that's going to go ahead and help you resolve as far as the situation that you're in right now. Obviously, you're not resolving anything if you're going and telling maybe your friend, or if you're just spreading rumors or anything like that. You want to make sure that whoever you're speaking to, it's going to go ahead and be somebody that's going to go ahead and help you. Whether if it's somebody that you want to go and have them speak for you, your supervisor, your manager, your director, HR, there's going to go ahead and be different organization types, like I said, that might help you in different situations. There also exists some things as like anonymous hotlines that that you might have access to at work. It all just depends on as far as what resources you have readily available, okay? Studies found that 87 to 94% of employees do not report the harassment due to the fact that a lot of the situations, they might find themselves that they are being retaliated against, or like I said, in Quick Pro, you might find yourself that you are actually being held against. If you speak, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Or you're just scared of the outcome that might come with as far as speaking out about the sexual harassment. Also, a Forbes article called "What Do You Do If You Are Being Sexually Harassed at Work" suggests that you document and save any proof that you might have to support your claim. These are cases that are very hard to work with due to the fact that usually they lack a lot of the information or evidence needed to prove whatever is happening. As far as if you have any kind of emails or comments that you might want to write down, if you might want to go ahead and have the full information, the full documentation that you might need to go ahead and support your claim. As far as what you should do with such things, like I said, you want to talk to your employer. You want to go ahead and make sure that you report it and you speak out about what's happening to you, okay? The last thing is that there is such thing as filing a claim with the EEOC if for whatever reason nothing is resolved within your actual workplace environment, okay? One of the last things I did want to go ahead and talk to you about is that not only as an employee is it hard to speak out about it, but as a supervisor or manager, as many of you might know, it is a difficult situation to deal with if one of your employees does claim that they are being sexually harassed in the workplace. On balancecareers.com, the website states that an employer has legal, ethical, and employee relations obligation to thoroughly investigate the charges, meaning that if something is brought up to you, they do have the actual obligation to thoroughly investigate whatever happened in the actual situation, whether if they feel like it's something big or something small or something that doesn't pertain to them. Everybody has the actual obligation of going through and finding out exactly what is it that happened that caused the employer compel them to go to an HR department or a supervisor or manager to report such situation, okay? There is 3 different ways that the same Forbes article states that they might hear about the actual situation, but it is, again, including but not limited to. They do go ahead and list that they might hear it from, through gossip, they might hear it from another employee who is maybe friends or a family member of the targeted employee. And lastly, they might hear it from the HR department if the targeted employee, another employee, has already reported it. As a manager or a supervisor, you might not always be the first person to hear it, but as long as the person has already reported it to the correct department and they're able to help you figure out the situation and to solve it for the employee, by all means, okay? Also, you want to make sure that all employees are fully aware of all the policies that there exist to help them out in said situation, okay? You want to go ahead and make sure that they know that at all times they do go ahead and have the resources available to go ahead and help them, whether if it's being with you, the HR department, hotlines, anything that they might have, anonymous lines or anonymous complaints, okay? If and when a complaint has already been filed, you want to go ahead and make sure that they are aware that there will be 0 tolerance for retaliation for reporting such incidents, or that they do have the right for full confidentiality for their case itself. Of course, the investigation might require you to speak to different witnesses or to different people, but at this point, the information that has been given to you, you want to go ahead and make sure that you respect and that you acknowledge the fact that you will not be speaking about their situation in the future, okay? In conclusion, to sum up what we've already been going over today, it is a serious matter, and all employees should be knowledgeable of the process of how to remove themselves from a workplace like this, or how to train managers or supervisors as far as what they can or should do in a situation that they might face like this, okay? Again, the EOC and other state regulations are in place readily available to provide knowledge and security to all the employees in reference to sexual harassment in the workplace. All employees in all levels of chain of command are entitled to know what is, how to report, and how to handle an existing situation. Don't forget to speak out. Always go ahead and make sure that you are able to go ahead and mention it or speak to somebody at your workplace, whether you trust them or it's somebody that you know that is going to go ahead and help you with the situation, okay? Remember to take all the correct steps in resolving such a sensitive case and to be able to go ahead and have all documents or evidence available to you to make sure that you are able to support your claim, okay? At this point, did any of you guys have any kind of questions or any other concerns?
No.
No? Okay, well, this concludes today's training. Okay? Everybody have a good day, okay?